My salutations to all of you. Welcome back to the final session of the first season of this Ramayana Reflections. We covered 3 sessions, and today we will conclude the introductory session of this Ramayana Reflection, and we will take 2 to 3 weeks break, and then we will come back later part of February with Balakanda. So today what we are going to do is we are going to talk a little bit about Ramayana itself. So far we talked about the place of Ramayana in the overall Vedic scriptural portfolio. Then we found the Vedic roots of Ramayana. Following that, we identified Rama as an embodiment of Dharma, and that is another connection of Rama and Ramayana and Veda. And finally, we talked about the transition or the transformation of Sage Valmiki from a hunter to a highly evolved sage. That transformation we saw. And also we saw the birth of the first shloka, meaning from an incident in Valmiki's life. It happened to be a curse that created the birth of the first shloka, and that curse turned into be a beautiful prayer, and that paved the birth of Ramayana, the Adikavya. So today we are going to talk a little bit about the Ramayana itself, because the Ramayana is a multi-dimensional scripture. So we are going to understand a little bit details about that Ramayana, the different dimensions of Ramayana. So that's what we are going to cover today. So without any delay, let's get started. First, let's listen to the Dhyana Shloka of Rama, and then we will start the session.
ध्यायेदाजानुबाहुं धृतशरधनुषं बद्धपद्मासनस्थं पीतं वासोवसानं नवकमलदलस्पर्धिनेत्रं प्रसन्नं वामाङ्गारूढ सीतामुखकमलमिलल्लोचनं नीरदाभं नानालङ्कारदीप्तं दधतमुरुजटामण्डनं रामचन्द्रम्.
Let's pray to Sri Rama for the peace of mind and that everlasting happiness. So let's start. So we are going to start by looking into a popular shloka which talks about this glory of this Ramayana. So let's start. This is a very popular shloka. This shloka tells, Charitam Rekhunatha Syata Kodi Pravistaram Ekaikam Aksharam Proptam Mahapataka Nashanam. This shloka brilliantly captures the beauty and the scope of Ramayana. So it tells Charitam Rekhunadasya, the story of Lord Rama or Bhagavan Rama. He tells Shatakodi Pravistaram. It is so vast. The history of Rama. Ramayana means it is the journey of Rama, means the history of Rama. He tells it is so vast. It extends Shatakodi Pravistaram. Shatakodi means, like Kodi means 10 million. Shatakodi means 10 million times 10. So it's a billion verses. So this story of Rama or the history of Rama, it is so vast, extending across a billion shlokas across different literature. And then what is the beauty of this Rama story? It tells each and every letter, ekam aksharam. in this billion shlokas of Rama, which spread across different literature, it is said that each letter is so pure, each letter is so beautiful, it can remove all the negative tendencies, all the papas within us. Mahapataka Nashanam. That this shloka shows the glory of the Ramayana. This is the glory of Ramayana. So let's see, when you say a billion shloka, it span across different versions of Ramayana. Let's have a quick overview before we get into the Balakanda of Valmiki Ramayana. Let's have a quick peek into the different versions of Ramayana. So let's start. This Ramayana is, as we discussed earlier, it is more than a story. It's a timeless phenomenon you can see across different cultures. Malaysia, Burma, Cambodia, Thailand, India, Indonesia, Russia, Philippines, Italy. It cut across the national geographical boundary. The legacy of Bharat is there are so many sages like Valmiki's version, Vyasa's version, Tulsidas ji's version, Kambar's version. There is Jain Ramayanas, Buddhist Ramayana, and you can see that in Indonesian version, Thailand version. So this is a universal epic. It adapting across time, cultures, and spiritual traditions. That is the beauty of this Ramayana. So when you think about this Ramayana, what is the most authoritative version of the Ramayana? Or what is the most primal version of the Ramayana? Beyond doubt, without any question, it is the Valmiki Ramayana. The Ramayana composed by sage Maharshi Valmiki is the Itihasa. Every other Ramayana is derived from that Valmiki Ramayana. So this Valmiki Ramayana is known to be Adi Kavya. This is the first poetic work in Sanskrit literature. We talked about that earlier. And this is the first epic, Prathama Itihasa, Adi Kavya, 24,000 shlokas in 7 sections or 7 cantos. And the whole Ramayana is composed in Anushtup meter. And this is the most Pramaniya Grantha, the most authoritative version of the Ramayana. And this is the most primary source of Ramayana. And what exactly is the focus of this Valmiki Ramayana? Yes, Valmiki Ramayana talk about the divine qualities of Rama. It is not that Valmiki Ramayana is silent on that particular part. Absolutely not. Valmiki Ramayana talks about the divinity of Rama, the incarnation of Rama, but the focus is not that. The focus of Valmiki Ramayana is Rama, the human virtues. What are the best virtues, meaning that is there with every human being. For an ideal human being, the virtues of that human being is highlighted in the Valmiki Ramayana. This is the focus of Valmiki Ramayana. So please understand, that is where Valmiki... So Rama's life is so vast. No Ramayana can do justice to the entire scope of Rama. So each of these Ramayanas is a vertical slice of that larger spectrum of Rama. So where Valmiki is focusing more is on the human virtues of Rama. And this time of this Ramayana is completely unknown. Whatever time you see in the history books, it's not accurate. Only thing is that we know that it goes back to Treta Yuga, thousands of years. That is what the Valmiki Ramayana. So the next most important book in the portfolio or the scriptural spectrum of Ramayana is the Adhyatma Ramayana. So this Adhyatma Ramayana is composed by none other than Maharshi Vedavyasa. So the approach of this Adhyatma Ramayana is a spiritual interpretation of Rama's story. Whereas Valmiki was highlighting the human qualities of Rama, Adhyatma Ramayana is focusing the Vedantic aspect, where you can find Rama as the consciousness of a human being. And this version of the Ramayana came after Valmiki's version. But still it is very ancient. An interesting point is that this Ramayana is a part of Brahmanda Purana. As you know, There are 18 Puranas we have in our scriptural portfolio. And this is a part of the Brahmanda Purana. The focus is Bhakti, Rama as a divine incarnation, and also the Vedantic teaching. You can see Rama Gita, like that, the most profound Vedantic teaching in this, what we are meaning Adhyatma Ramayana. So, also Rama, along with a spiritual incarnation, you can see Rama as a spiritual teacher. This has approximately 5,000 shlokas and exactly 7 kandas like the Valmiki Ramayana. The structure follows the same. And understand, right? So you're condensing that 24,000 shlokas into 5,000 shlokas. That is the difference. The very famous Rama Gita is part of this Adhyatma Ramayana. And this has a huge impact in the spiritual scriptural literature. So these are the two popular versions of Ramayana. One is Valmiki's Ramayana, the other one is Vedavyasa's version of Adhyatma Ramayana. Not over. There are more versions of Ramayana. The next version of Ramayana, or the popular Ramayana, is known as Ananda Ramayana. So it's very expansive, right? And a devotional interpretation of Rama's story. So that it is attributed to Maharshi Valmiki, but there is no authentic proof or anything like that. People believe that this is written by Valmiki. Why? Because Valmiki composed the original Ramayana, which consists of 24,000 shlokas. After completing that Ramayana, he thought, okay, my God, I didn't write everything I wanted. Some leftovers are there. So he focused that leftovers and he created that which gave him Ananda or happiness. And that is why this Ramayana is known as Ananda Ramayana. And this Ramayana is considered as an Upapurana. There are a lot of stories in this Ramayana which was not mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. For example, there was a story which tells that Ravana came to know that long time back Rama is going to destroy it. So he tried to destroy Rama's mother. Like he tried to kill her, but it didn't work out. So all those stories are there. And then there is another story of Hanuman. Hanuman was sent to Kashi to bring a Shivalinga to consecrate in Rameshwara. But at that point of time, Hanuman took a lot of time. So when since the time was getting over, Rama took some sand and he created a Shivalinga and he consecrated it. And when Hanuman came back, he said, "Oh, I brought a beautiful Shivalinga. Can you install it?" So Rama said, "If you can move that sand Shivalinga, we can put that in." Because Hanuman had a little bit of pride. So Hanuman tried to move that sand Shivalinga. He couldn't. And then he realized, and when he realized, Rama installed that other one also. Like that, there are so many other stories which was not in the original Ramayana. That is what is Ananda Ramayana. So again, this Ramayana portrays more on the divine aspect of Rama more than the human. So that is why, because Valmiki, when he initially composed, he thought, okay, I over-focused on the human quality and ignored a little bit of divine quality. So that is why he added that. And this Ramayana has 9 cantos or 9 kandas. Whereas the Valmiki Ramayana has 7 cantos, and this has approximately 12,500 shlokas. And like there are creation of the universe. That is another story which was not there in the original Ramayana. Then a lot of mythological stories are also there. This is known as Ananda Ramayana. Again, a popular Ramayana, but not as popular as Valmiki Ramayana or Adhyatma Ramayana. So another beauty of this Ananda Ramayana is lot of prayers we do in Ramayana or about Rama comes from this Ananda Ramayana. So for example, Rama Shatanama Stotra, 108 names of Rama. Very popular, very powerful chant that comes from this Ananda Ramayana. Then the Rama Stotram, it is Bhagavan Shiva composed it, and that comes here. Rama Raksha Mahamantra, like a great mantra for gaining protection from Rama. This is fantastic mantra, And then this comes from again Ananda Ramayana. Then Rama Sahasranama, 1,000 names of Rama. That is also comes here. And then there are so many kavachas which are used for protection. Hanuman Kavacha, Rama Kavacha, Sita Kavacha, Lakshmana Kavacha, Bharata Kavacha, Shatrugna Kavacha. All these stotras and prayers and mantras comes from this Ananda Ramayana. We will record all these things and we will study all these things as we move along through the Ramayana. These are fantastic prayers. We are meaning understanding the meaning. It is going to give us a great like security and protection. So as we move along, we will cover each one of these stotras as we touches each chapter. So this is another point, Ramayana, Ananda Ramayana. So we talked about Valmiki Ramayana, we talked about Adhyatma Ramayana, we talked about Ananda Ramayana. The next one is called Adhyatma Ramayana, miraculous tales. So this is another version of Ramayana. Again, people believe that it is Valmiki, but it's a very unique and distinct style of narration compared to the Valmiki Ramayana. So some people say that, oh no, it should not be Valmiki because the style is very different. We don't know. But a lot of people believe that it is Valmiki. And then the focus of this Adhyatma Ramayana is the miraculous events happened in the life of Rama. So like extraordinary series. And also this talks about the adventurous Sita, the fierce form of Sita who fights with the demons, etc. So there is a narration of Sita fighting with a 1,000-headed demon, Rakshasa. And it goes like the tampric and devotional insights, right? So the divine aspects of Rama and Sita. So, and also as I said, like it focuses or portrays Sita as a warrior goddess. So this is what it is. There are 27 chapters and approximately 1,300 shlokas. This is very interesting version of Ramayana, Adhyatma Ramayana. So the next one is Agastya Ramayana. So Agastya Ramayana is attributed to Sage Agastya. Again, focuses on Rama's life, adventure, but through a different lens from Sage Agastya Muni's, Agastya Maharshi's narration. So there are some unique narrations, some detailed teachings given by Agastya to Rama, that is there. And these interactions between, meaning of course the interactions between Agastya and Rama is there in all the Ramayana. For example, the Aditya Hridayam mantram is given by Agastya to Rama. But there are much more interactions and those specifics are documented by Sage Agastya and presented here. Another beautiful insight of this Agastya Ramayana is like there are lot of yogic and meditation teaching Agastya has given to Rama, and all that is documented in the Agastya Ramayana. And Sita's role also a little bit different. For example, if it is like the Adhyatma Ramayana, you see like the warrior aspect of Sita Devi. Here you see the spiritual depth of Mata Sita. Her interactions with Maharshi Agastya reveals that. So that's what it is. And the challenge is there is no standardized version for this Agastya Ramayana. I was very lucky to get a very old copy of this Agastya Ramayana. So we will bring the insights of this Agastya Ramayana as we go through each of these contours. So that is Agastya Ramayana. So then those are the popular Sanskrita versions of Ramayana. The most famous version of Ramayana is none other than Tulsidas ji's devotional epic Ramcharitmanas. So this Tulsidas ji, who lived in 16th century, he was a saint poet, revered in the Bhakti movement of northern India. It started in northern India, but he is famous all over the place. And he wrote this Ramayana story because Sanskrit was not easily accessible to the common man. Only certain scholars were able to read and understood the story of Rama. So the greatest contribution Tulsidas ji did was he translated or he retold the story of Rama in a language called Awadhi, which is a dialect of Hindi spoken in Uttar Pradesh, northern India. So this had meaning this was composed around the 16th century, around 1575. Again, it has the same structure as that of the Valmiki Ramayana. There are 7 cantos, each cantos detailing various phases of Rama's life and emphasize on devotion, bhakti, and the human qualities of Rama, and also the spiritual teachings. You can see the Vedantic teaching also in Ramcharitmanas. And this Ramcharitmanas is known for its poetic excellence and beautiful devotional lyrics and songs. There are so many dohas and chaupais in this Ramcharitmanas, which are very popular. A lot of people, you meaning if you have learned this, meaning watch the Ramananda Sagar's Ramayana, the opening and the closing prayers are from this Ramcharitmanas. Without doubt, Ramcharitmanas played one extremely critical role in popularizing the message of Ramayana. So this influence of this Ramcharitmanas in art, in culture, in spirituality, across, meaning in the contribution of Ramayana and Sanatana Dharma, and in particular, generally, and in particular, Ramcharitmanas is unparalleled. It highlights the role of grace. Tulsidas, they say, like, I am writing this book for Shambhu Prasada, the blessings of Lord Shiva, because with that blessing, and it is testified that after writing this Ramayana, he attained a lot of peace and happiness and contentment. So this Ramcharitmanas occupies a very high important place in Ramayana's literature. And those who are interested in learning this more, we have a parallel class in Hindi going on. So you all can join that class to listen to this. So then there is another popular version of Rama is called Ramavataram. This is an epic classic written in Tamil language by none other than Mahakavi Kambar. Kambar is a celebrated Tamil poet from the 12th century. So this Kambara and this Ramayana is known as Kambaramayanam, and it is composed in Tamil. Remember, the Ramcharitmanas was composed in 15th century, whereas the story of Rama was translated into Tamil by this great poet Kambar in the 12th century. So again, it divided into 7 cantos or kandas, mirroring the exact structure of the Valmiki Ramayana. And the beauty of the Kambaramayanam is its poetic beauty, like its brilliant Tamil literary techniques has been used by Kambar to tell the story of Ramayana. And while this Ramayana, Kambaramayanam follows the structure of Ramayana and the style, what Kambar has done very uniquely is he included the unique Tamil cultural elements and interpretation, some rituals, so that the local people can connect with this Rama story very well. So this book, the Ramavataram in Tamil, has influenced the Tamil literature and the religious thought considerably. And this Kambaramayanam recites like almost all the meaning temples and festivals, and this Kambaramayanam focuses more on the moral and ethical lessons from Ramayana, adopting into the Tamil spiritual and cultural context. So this is without doubt another brilliant work of Ramayana, and we are going to bring a lot of points here. Thanks to Bhuvanaji, she is helping me with a lot of insights. This is beautiful, and we will record a few selected sections also. It's amazing. And this temple, what you see in the picture, is where meaning it is believed that this is where Kambar first recited this Tamil Ramayana. That is Kambar's Ramayana. Then Adhyatma Ramayanam Klipot. Actually, it's in Malayalam literature. This is the Ramayana. So this is composed by another great saint called Tunjattu Ramanujan Ezhuthachan. This was composed in 16th century. So you can see the chronology, right? 12th century, the Tamil Ramayana came. 15th century, the Ramcharitmanas came. 16th century, the Malayalam came. And this is written in the form of a kilipat. Kilipat means a bird song. It is narrated by a parrot. That is the style adopted. And this Ramayana is an adaptation of Adhyatma Ramayana of Vyasa. So this has a lot of Vedantic thoughts. Amazingly, for example, the Ahalya Stuti, it's just like Upanishad. That type of clarity and beautifully presented. This is typically sung in the Ranga Ananda Bhairavi and such a beautiful composition. We will have a few recordings and we will again bring a lot of insights from this Ramayana. And this was deeply influential in Malayalam literature, spirituality, and this Ramayana, even now, it is like chanted or recited during the month of Karkidakam. Karkidakam means June, July time frame. It's a rainy season, and that season, this Ramayana, people read the whole Ramayana, and if you cannot read the whole Ramayana, they used to read at least one Kanda, Sundarakanda. This is what it is. And this, even people used to learn this Ramayana for even learning Malayalam's language beauty. And this Punjab Tirthachan is known as the father of the Malayalam literature because of this beautiful composition of Ramayana. So that is another version of Ramayana. Let's continue. So more than that, it's not that Ramayana is there in Hindi, Tamil, Malayalam. Every language of India has their own Ramayana. So since I summarized it, that doesn't mean that they are nothing inferior to any other version. My exposure to these other versions are limited. That is why I just summarized it. So in Telugu, you have the Renkanatha Ramayana, Gona Buddha Reddy. So again, this is Valmiki Ramayana adaptation. And then there is a Kumara Valmiki's Torave Ramayana. This is in Kannada. In Marathi, it's very popular. Bhavartha Ramayana, which is composed by Sant Ekanath. And in Gujarati, there is an adaptation of Tulsidas ji's Ramayana. Then there is a Kritivasi Ramayana in Bengali. That is also Kritibas Oja. He composed it. And then Asami, there is a Saptakanda Ramayana. It is Madhava Kandali. And in Odia, there is a Balaramadasa's Dandi Ramayana. So, and also this is known as Jaganmohana Ramayana. It's a Odia, it's all these Ramayanas, you need to understand, even though they adopt either from Valmiki's version or Vyasa's version, they beautifully integrate this into the local dialects and the local spiritual practice. So what happens? Ramayana got adopted into each of these culture very nicely, and it became a universal culture. So that is the brilliance of these different Ramayanas. Each Ramayana played a huge role. So that doesn't mean that means it's not just limited to India. There are a lot of international versions of Ramayana. So there is a Ramayana called Ramakien. It is in Thailand. Again, it is adopted to adaptation of Valmiki Ramayana, but deeply integrated into Thai culture and national epic. Then in Cambodia, there is a version of Ramayana, remaker. This is in like very lot of influential, and even we have the book right now, remaker. And then in Indonesian version, that Indonesian version of Rama, the Javanese version of Ramayana, this is very popular. Even now, if you go to Bali, you can see these rain dance and also Ramayana related ballet and dance, and this what they chant is from this Kakavian Ramayana. Then in Laos, there is a version of Ramayana. Again, they focus more on the stories of Rama known as Faralam, and then the story of Lakshmana, Faralak. The Ramayana is known as Paralak, Paralam, Rama and Lakshmana. That is what it focuses. This is the Laos version. And then there is a Malaysian version of the Ramayana in Malay adaptation. Again, it has a lot of folk tales from Malaysia integrated. And also you can see later some influence of Islamic influence also. So this Hikayat Seri Rama. And then there is a Burmese version of the Ramayana. There is a Filipinos version of the Ramayana. And finally, there is a Nepalese version of the Ramayana. Actually, that is known as Bhanubhakta Ramayana. A poet saint called Bhanubhakta composed it. And that is the Nepalese version of the Ramayana. So now just think for a moment, because we think Ramayana as a simple scripture. You can see in many languages how it got translated and how many different versions are there. And each version plays a unique role in taking the message of Rama to the local people. And now, if you remember that the poem or the shloka I recited earlier, there are at least a billion shlokas which praises the glory of Rama. All these were different versions in different places. It's infinite. It's not over. So let's continue. There are some additional versions of Ramayana. There is a Buddhist, Jain, and Sikh versions of Ramayana. The Buddhist version of Ramayana came to known as Dasharatha Jataka. So there is a Buddhist Jataka tale, because you all know the Jataka tales in Buddha, where Buddha, meaning recollects his past life, and Bhagavan Buddha recollects one of his past life as Rama. That is what is Dasharatha Jataka. So it's a Buddhistic adaptation of Ramayana. And then there is another Ramayana which is known as Jain Ramayana. So this Ramayana again portrayed Rama as a prince. The story is pretty much similar, but a little bit of different Jainistic perspective. So there they also have a Ramayana. And in the Sikh literature also there is a Ramayana. It is part of the Dashama Granth, composed by none other than Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So the last Guru of the Sikh tradition, he composed a book called Dashama Grantha, the 10th Guru. And here in this Dashama Grantha, Rama, there is a chapter called Ramavatara. So in that chapter, he narrates the story of Rama, and he presents Rama as one of the 24 incarnation of Bhagavan Vishnu, and more focuses on that warrior nature of Rama and his connection with the Sikh culture and literature, etc. So that's what is Ramavatara of the Sikh. And there are countless Sanskrit literature influenced by Rama or adopted by Rama. So there are popular, meaning I don't want to go over everything, but this is again a partial list. So the popular one is Mahanataka. Mahanataka is written by a saint poet Hanumanta, and it is Ramayana's story in 9 or 10 or 14 acts. It's a Sanskrit play from the 11th century depicting Ramayana's life. And then there is a beautiful composition by Bhasa. It is known as Pratima Nataka. It starts with Rama's coronation and then move into the Kaikeyi's demand for exile. That is the subject matter of Pratima Nataka. And then like Abhisheka Nataka, that is also Bhasas. And then like Yajnaphalam, that is another Bhasas. Then actually Parthahradi's Maha Veera Charita. So that covers Rama's journey from Vishwamitra's ashram to his coronation. That much detail. So that is what it is. It is called Mahavira Charita. Then Uttara Ramacharita, again Pavabhuti, again based upon the Uttarakanda of the Ramayana. Then Janak Jananda. So that is another shlok, the composition. And finally, Raghuvamsha of Kalidasa. That is a brilliant composition. We talk about the ancestors of Rama, starting from Dilipa's son Aja, Aja's son. It starts with that lineage: Dilipa, Aja, Rekhu. Dilipa, Rekhu, Aja, Dasharatha, Rama. So that lineage, and then Rama's son Lava Kusha, and then their descendants. So that is what is Rekhomsham. It's a brilliant composition by none other than Mahakavi Kalidasa. So these are the different literatures based on Ramayana. Now, this Ramayana was described by different people in different times. So Bhagavan Brahmaji talked to Valmiki about the story of Ramayana. So this is depicted in the Valmiki Ramayana Balakanda. So Brahmaji inspired Sage Valmiki to compose the Ramayana. And he said, you will have divine vision to witness the event. And then Maharshi Narada also told the Ramayana story to Valmiki. Again, this is comes in the Valmiki Ramayana. And then Maharshi Valmiki told these stories to Lava and Kusha. These are the different narrations of Ramayana. So after composing the Ramayana, Maharshi Valmiki taught Lava and Kusha this Ramayana and requested them to go and sing this in Ayodhya. So the next narrators are Lava and Kusha narrates this Ramayana, and who listened to it? Bhagavan Rama and the people of Ayodhya listened to it. So this is also told in Valmiki Ramayana. And then another narration of this Rama is none other than by Bhagavan Shiva to Mother Parvati. So Shiva presents the spiritual vision of Ramayana to Mother Parvati. This is known as Uma Maheshwara Samvada. And then it is said that Sage Yajnavalkya, he told this to Sage Bharadwaja. So this is written in Skanda Purana and in Uttara Ramayana. And Rama told the story of Rama to Hanuman. So there is a book called Hanuman Nataka, and in the Jain Ramayana, this is written. And then Markandeya Maharshi narrates the whole Ramayana to Yudhishthira and all the Pandavas. And this is written in the Vanaparva of Mahabharata. So that's another narration of Ramayana. And then this what the various Puranas, various Puranic authors, what narrated the story of Rama. So, for example, Maharshi Suta narrates this to the sages of Dandakaranya. So there are different narrations of this Ramayana. So that's another good insight. So now let's listen to or learn two more shlokas. One from Adhyatma Ramayana and one from Valmiki Ramayana, which talks about the glory of Ramayana and the eternal nature of Ramayana. So let's listen to let's read the first shloka, which is from the Vyasa's Ramayana, Adhyatma Ramayana. So it says, Yavat sthayanti, it is Ramayanam padestestu bhaktya paramaya yuta sa yati paramam sayati paramam sthanam ramena sahamodade. So this shloka writes the benefit of Ramayana. He tells Ramayanam patestastu, whoever studies Ramayana or he read the Ramayana, with what power? Bhaktyasya bhava. So with the deepest devotion. Bhaktyasya paramaya yutaha. So with the deepest devotion. And what will happen to them? They will reach the highest state of being. Sa yati paramam sthanam. They reaches the highest possibilities of life, which is moksha. And rejoice eternally in the presence of Rama. They will reach the adobe of Rama, or they will be with Rama, or they will become one with Rama. And who is Rama? Rama is the consciousness in us. And Rama is the embodiment of dharma. So with that Rama, I will identify. So this is a beautiful shloka which talks about the benefit of Ramayana. And the next shloka is talk about the transformative power of Ramayana. The glory of Ramayana. So let's read that shloka. This is very popular shloka. It says, Yavat sthasyanti girayaha saritascha mahitale tavat Ramayana katha lokeshu pracharishyanti. Till how long this Ramayana will persist? As long as the mountains stand tall and the rivers flow upon this earth. Yavat sthasyanti girayaha saritascha mahitale. As long as there are mountains and rivers in the world, the story of Ramayana, Ramakatha, will continue to spread and inspire people across the world. Lokeshu prachayashyanti. comes from the Valmiki Ramayana Balakanda. So this is exactly what is true. Just think about this, because right now we are living far away from Rama, right? Thousands of years. Still, this message of Rama growing every year. Every year, more and more people are getting inspired by the story of Rama. And if something continues like this, there is certainly something great in that. And that is what is Ramayana. And that is what we are about to begin our study in the next season. In the 3 weeks, we will take off, and after that, we are going to study. So, with that, we can conclude the introduction. So, in this season, like in 4 sessions, we covered this 9 topic. We understood where exactly Ramayana fits within the Vedic scriptural framework. We have seen that the Vedic scriptural framework has Vedas as the foundational scriptures, and there are itihasas are there, because without itihasas, the Veda is afraid that the Alpashruta is going to misinterpret me and abuse me. So that is why Veda has to be interpreted using itihasas and Puranas, which takes the principles of Veda and present it in the form of stories and histories to people. And that is the significance of Ramayana. And we found that that is the Vedic root of Ramayana. Ramayana is nothing but elaboration of the Vedic mantra Dharmam Chara. And we saw that to prove that, we have seen that the Valmiki Ramayana is an elaboration of Gayatri mantra. Every 1,000 shloka covers the next syllable of Gayatri mantra. We saw that. And we saw that Rama is an embodiment of Dharma. Ramo Vigrahavan Dharma. And Vedo Kilu Dharma Moolam. Veda, the root of Veda is Dharma, and Rama is an embodiment of Dharma. And then we saw the transformation of Sage Valmiki. From Ratnakara, how he got transformed into Sage Valmiki. And we found the first shloka, how it got generated. Manishada Pradishtam Tamagama Shashwati Sama Yat Krauncha Mithuna Deva Dekam Avadhi Kama Mohitam. This was a curse, but later that curse transformed into a prayer. What is that prayer? Prayer to Srinivasa, the one who's in whom Bhagavati Lakshmi is the adobe of Lakshmi. So he who destroyed one of the Rakshasa, that is Ravana, and bring eternal peace and happiness in this universe, I worship him. So that type of interpretation came in. And we saw today the different versions of Ramayana, and we saw that there are billion verses of Ramayana, and each of these word, each of the letter in this Ramayana is capable of purifying us. And finally, we saw the benefit of studying the Ramayana, because when you study Ramayana, it removes all the stins, obstacles, and make me happy and contented. And this message of Rama will continue to exist as long as the universe is still there. So with that, we cover the season 1. So today also you might have learned something unique, because there are different versions of Ramayana. People will think that there is only Valmiki Ramayana, but there are different dimensions of Ramayana. Each Ramayana covers a unique aspect. For example, all these stotrams come from Ananda Ramayana. Agastya Ramayana is talked about. Adhyatma Ramayana we talked about. These are the different versions of Ramayana in different countries and places. So it's an inspiring study. So when we regroup after 3 weeks, what we are going to do is we are going to study Balakanda. And one more point I would like to highlight here is that we are going to study with the traditional commentaries, and we are going to study all the important concepts and shlokas. So with that, we can conclude today's session, and let's pause the recording and see if there are any questions or comments. Before that, let me play the closing prayer, and then we can close.
Shri Rama Rama Rameti Rame Rame तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं रामनाम वरानने